Alright guys, very briefly, we're going to talk about remote access control mechanisms. So we have X security and X display access control. So X provides mechanisms for implementing many access control systems, and the sample implementation includes 6 mechanisms. We have host access, which is simple host-based access control. We have MIT Magic Cookie 1, which is shared plain text or cookies. We have XDM Authorization 1, which is secure DES-based private keys. We have Sun DES1, which is based on Sun's secure RPC system. We have MIT Kerberos 5, which is Kerberos version 5 user to user. We have server interpreted, which is server dependent methods of access control. Alright. Now guys, this is kind of the bread and butter how most people will access servers, which is SSH or secure shell, and is a protocol used to securely log on to remote systems. It is the most common way to access remote Linux and Unix-like servers. And I can vouch for this. This is how I log into all my servers that I work on daily. The tool on Linux for connecting to a remote system using SSH is called, unsurprisingly, SSH. The most basic form of the command is you use SSH and then the host you're connecting to. The remote host in this example is the IP address or domain name that you're trying to connect to. And typically, guys, if you're going to type in a host name, that means that host name is specified in your host files, and the IP is listed there. If it's not, and you try to type in a host name, it's not going to know what you're saying. It won't be able to resolve it, so you'll have to type in the IP address. Okay? So if your username is different on the remote system, so you're on your current system, and you're trying to connect to another system, but your username is different on that system, you can specify it by using this context. So you do SSH, the username on that system, @ and then the server you're trying to connect to, okay? If it's not a different username on there, you can just go ahead and do SSH and then the remote host, okay? Once you have connected to the server, you will probably be asked to verify your identity by providing a password, which it should. That's part of a secure system, right? It should always ask you for your password unless you have some type of SSH key set up. So in summary, guys, we talked about Unix networking applications such as remote execution commands, remote activity reporting, communicating with remote users. We talked about some internet applications such as FTP, TFTP, and telnet, and remote access control mechanisms and using the secure shell or SSH. Be sure to follow these links so you can check out the weekly and monthly plans available for private tutoring sessions of system administrator management, as well as private tutoring sessions for Linux and Bash scripting. Be sure to continue your trading. We have other courses to look at, such as Intro to Cybersecurity, Introduction to Cloud Technology, Learning how to manage Windows servers, Introduction to Database, Learn SQL Programming with examples, Introduction to NoSQL Database Design, and Learn Graph Database Design by examples. Check out these resources. We have a comprehensive list of all Linux OS distributions available. We have an overview of Linux file systems. You can take a look at what mechanisms are behind the Linux kernel task management and how Linux kernel sources and functions work. We also have a comprehensive look at how Linux data source structures work available, as well as a comprehensive review of how Linux file and directory system works available. A comprehensive list of all special purpose Linux distributions are also available. And finally, we also have a comprehensive list of all secure Linux distributions for cybersecurity professionals available for you as part of this course. Some classes to follow up with after this course are Learn PHP Programming, Advanced Linux Bash Scripting, which is another course I'll be taking, or instructing, Linux Management for System Admins, which is another course I'll be instructing, and Intro to HTML and CSS. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. I hope you learned a lot in this session. We're not quite done, though. Don't forget about those labs and hands-on projects we're going to have you do. But thanks for joining me, guys. This has been a course by coding-bootcamps.com. Be sure to follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, and other social media platforms. Looking forward to working with you guys on the projects.